development. You know the drill, you know how we do it, you know what the custom is. But first, let me welcome you to the Wednesday's edition of Hard Facts here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. You know, I always say I love it when you are on the other side of the radio listening in and waiting to air your views on issues on the review. Let me welcome you once again. I am Kalada Korubasibo. For those of you who are first timers, you're welcome to Hard Facts. And the show runs from the 3 o'clock hour up until 7 o'clock, when I have to make way for the sports crew to bring you extra time and bring you all the wonderful details from the world of sports. So we start the 3 o'clock hour with the big stories. The 4 o'clock hour, we'll look at a topical conversation. And today's topical conversation will do once again with the rivers allocation issue. There's something that we have failed to take a proper look at. We will do that today, and that's the fact that it's not just the CBN that the Federal High Court asked to stop releasing funds to the state government, but in two other banks, and we will talk about that in details. And the 5 o'clock hour, I beg your pardon, we will go to Outer West local government area once again, because the story emanating or emerging from that place is saying that the flood has worsened. But we talked about it about a week ago, and when we had the conversation, we arrived at that juncture where we discovered that it is the shallowness of the river, the Orashi River, that has caused the communities that are on that, what do you call it now, that the bank or the boundary with the river, something like that are suffering from the flood. And anyways, let's leave that. When the time is right, we will have those conversations. Remember, at the top of each hour, we would have a news item or a news bulletin come your way, starting with the business news, the news update, and the major news at 6. There will be a roundup session. We call it the open season, the 6 o'clock hour. So fasten your seatbelt as we start conversations for development. So what do I have as big stories for you today? First on my list of big stories is the headline that I came across sometime today, talking about criticism for the governor because he donated some amount to churches. At first it was just the 200 million naira that we talked about, but I saw a Facebook post by another journalist here in River State, and it looked like there were other donations to other churches. It's not our business what the name of the churches are. What we want to focus on is the criticisms and the donations. Given the very precarious, would I say, or the sensitive, I think sensitive is the right word to use, given the sensitive position we find ourselves, once again, going back to the political imbroglio in the state, one would think that this issue should be talked about for us to be able to understand what path the state is traveling. And now some lawyer in our news bulletin has criticized that, and he has said the donations are not what should be the priority of the government at this time. And so I'm looking at the in-house bulletin right now, and I'm looking at the story that says a lawyer, Chitamwala, has criticized Governor Siminalayi Fubara for donating money to some churches and individuals in the state. Mr. Wala, who is also the executive director, Trust Africa Initiative, said in an interview with our correspondent that River State funds should not be used for such purposes. He said such funds should be channeled to some sectors within the state. He claimed that underfunded. He also said donations were not made in the best interest of the state. But the reason why I chose this as big story is because, donations did not start with this government. Now, since I became politically aware, I do believe we can trace donations to as far back as, Sir Dr. Peter Odley's administration here in River State. Do you think it's a wrong move? Once again, I do think it's something we need to take a look at, given the sensitive position we find ourselves in the state. But let's take a listen to the lawyer who had this to say.
When Wike, as governor of the state, was dishing out these donations to Sokoto, to Benue State and all that, we condemned it. And we expected that SIM would act differently. The Rivers money should not be used to curry favor and buy favor from these church leaders. We have a lot of things to do with money. The funds that is even coming into the state are not even enough to cater for the needs of the average Rivers man and the average Rivers woman on the streets. Our educational sector is highly underfunded. Our health sector is highly underfunded. Go and see what is happening in our universities and even the primary and secondary schools. Yet we are donating about 200 million naira to churches.
Now, you would recall the president's wife and the national security advisor are supposed to lead Nigerians in prayer so that we can have some economic fortunes. Remember, Peter Obi also had said that there's too much religiosity going on in the country, and that has affected to a large extent the productivity in the country. You know, he made the statement he was going to switch vigils for 9 shifts. What are your thoughts, really? I want to know, what are your thoughts? It's a sensitive situation, and I'm struggling, to express what the conversation is about, because I understand the dynamics in River State, the political dynamics, and how sensitive some listeners are. However, it's a conversation that we should try to have. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on this. Is it something we should, pay too much attention to? 200 million, 1 billion, donations here, donations there. Is it something we should, pay attention to? Does the lawyer have a good argument? It's a question that we would like to find an answer for. Once again, some people say we could talk pensioners. Some people said we could talk there's several angles to the conversation, but let's move now to the next big story. And this is really an interesting one, because a lot of news platforms did not capture it yesterday when it happened. Now, the report that I've read says that there was a protest in Abuja. The protest was taken to the National Assembly complex yesterday, and the protest was against hardship. Yeah, you heard me right. Nigerians in Abuja marched to the National Assembly asking for some kind of relief in the petroleum sector. Now, they lamented the cost of petrol and how it is affecting their daily lives and how it is affecting their businesses. I wonder what you're thinking. Do you see protests? Because this would be like the third protest since August the 1st. Do you think protests would help change situations, economic situations? I just made reference to what the First Lady and the NSA are trying to do. They're trying to pray Nigeria out of economic woes. Do you think that's the way to go? But really, I want to get your thoughts on the protest at the National Assembly yesterday. Do you think it's effective? Do you think the lawmakers will listen? Remember, the lawmakers are representatives of the people. They have constituents that they represent, and if these people have marched onto the streets to say, hey, see, we can't take it anymore, the hardship is too much for us to bear, what do you think is the next step? How do you think the House would react to this? How do you think the Nigerian government, the executive arm that is, should respond to the hardship Nigerians are facing? I recall that during the swearing in of the 7 ministers, the president did mention that yes, it is a daunting task before the executive arm of the federal government. He mentioned how difficult it is at this time, but he also mentioned that he understands what Nigerians are going through. But if he does understand, like he has painted, what is expected of him, what short-term measures do you think the president should put in place? By the way, Dangote, the marketers, are still going, they're still engaging in the arguments. The back and forth are still very much palpable. However, what are your thoughts? I'd like to hear. My third big story will now take us to a very sad development. We understand soldiers, or should I say military men, they sacrificed their lives, so that you and I can live in a peaceful society. Basically, the force man, it could be the police, it could be, the NSCDC, the army, the navy. Basically, these people sacrificed their lives so that you and I can live in a peaceful society, sleep with our two eyes closed. However, the president has now announced, sadly, that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, has died. Now, reports say he died yesterday in Lagos.
The show continues after.
Abrupt interruption there. Yeah, we had to go for the commercial, but welcome back. I was telling you about the sad passing of the Chief of Army Staff. Remember, yesterday we brought you the news report that the acting Chief of Army Staff had been upgraded in terms of, what they call that is ranking. He was a major general, but he was upgraded by the president to a lieutenant general yesterday. And today we have heard of the passing of the substantive Chief of Army Staff, and my heart goes out to the family. My heart goes out to the people who depend on him, people who love him, and all of that stuff. And I did put it on the big story so we can pay our last respect to the Chief of Army Staff. Whatever like it or not, sacrifices have been made, and we should honor such people in times like this. But maybe I should add an extra big story to the mix, and that is, the one thing almost everybody in the world is talking about, and that is Donald Trump returns. Yes, he has won the elections according to media reports. He has won, and he won well, I should say. He won well, unlike other times. He won well. And this is a statement made by the United States citizens, and I wonder how it will affect the rest of the world, because I mean, during his presidency we saw some tough stands from Donald Trump. Okay, let's see how it goes. I think sometime in January he will be sworn into office. All right, that being said, let's go to the phone lines now. Let's get your thoughts. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. WhatsApp number 0809-0306416. You could also call via WhatsApp, remember that. And let's have your thoughts on the issues that we are looking at, right? What say you? I've got Dede. Dede is calling from Iwofe. Let's hear Dede's thoughts. Dede, what's on your mind? I greet you right back.
Afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sympathies and condolences to the family of the departed Chief of Army Staff, Abacha, immediate family, more especially the wife and the kids. I pray that God will grant them the heart and also console them in this period of loss. I also pray that God will help Nigerian government, because it's a loss to the nation and it's a father. For whatever reason that has to go this time that we needed to most, may His good rest the perspective in the body of the Lord.
Okay.
As a Christian, I say,
Dede, your network is unstable. I can barely make out what you're saying. Can you hear me, Dede?
What?
Your network is unstable. So can we go straight to the point now, Dede? Let's get your thoughts. What issue piques your interest? All right, sorry about that, Dede. The network is unstable from your end. Gift from Unigua, welcome.
Good afternoon, man of the people.
Yeah, good afternoon, Gift.
And let me do your part. Even without informing us, I know that this is something that I will do. Taurif Lagbaja, God bless your soul. A man that was at the forefront, a field worker, a field marshal. It is very well. It is one of those things. I prayed for him when that rumor came. You remember, before this announcement, there was this rumor that the man has died, and they debunked it. And I was praying that God should just spare this man. But it is one of those things. You like it or not, you pray from now to tomorrow. When it is time, you must go. Every one of us, nobody will stay here forever. God bless his soul and comfort his immediate family, wife and children, just 2 children. It is well. Let me now go to the business of the day. Let me start with the person you talked about complaining of funds donated. Ordinarily, I will not even complain about donation. But a situation where we know ourselves, these are things that ordinarily you are not even supposed to complain, showing concern, especially ministries that are even touching lives. But you will turn it into politics and abuse the other person. And today you are clapping hands. Thank God for this very person who is consistent.
So what's your point, Gift?
Everyone used to wicked donating, but this very man used
so what's your point? I want to get your point.
I am talking about the donation of the governor to
Is it bad? Is it good? I'm trying to understand you.
No, please, I understand where I'm coming from. The man said we complained yesterday, and today we are clapping hands.
The man categorically said it is bad. So I'm wondering, do you agree?
That is what I am saying.
Is it bad or good?
If you understand me,
I'm trying to.
Ordinarily, me, I don't have problem.
Okay.
But I agree with the man. If you condemn something yesterday, why are you clapping hands today? It is psychophancy. That is the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
I align myself with that very man because himself is consistent. He said he condemned it yesterday and is condemning it today.
But did you condemn? Did you condemn it? I understand that you're indifferent. But did you condemn it yesterday? Are you applauding it today? Did you applaud it
when everyone yesterday did it yesterday?
Okay.
So I'm supposed to praise it today, but because of those guys who are psycho fans,
it's a gift. I'm not concerned about other people's thoughts. It's your thought I'm concerned. But I get you now. You're saying that it's okay. It's you're indifferent about it, and I get you. That
is what I'm saying. God bless you for that. So let me just stop here. Thank you, Kalada.
Thank you very much.
Will contribute. All right. God bless you.
I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome. What is on your mind? I would like to hear from you.
Hello, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Clinton.
Yeah, my today is a very sad day for Nigerians, losing someone that has been at the forefront, fighting for us, protecting us, and today is no more. I say may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Now, coming back to the issue of donation, Kalada, I, for one, I have been saying things against these donations. Even when Yeson Wike was dishing out our money to this state government, it goes to Oyo State, Akwa Ibom State, it donates money, it goes to the Benue State, I was against the Kalada. So, giving out reverse money, even when our public schools are in a very sorry state.
But Clinton,
are in a sorry state, Canada.
Clinton,
I don't think that giving out this money, doling out this cash is the right thing to do currently now. I think that what the government should have done is to look at those public schools and put this money there.
Clinton, some people have argued that the money was not given to other states. During Wike's time, it was given to Bayelsa, Sokoto, Benue. It's not. This time it's given to Rivers people. To the churches in Rivers State. I mean, if you listen to him when he was in one of the church services, he said, "It's given power to the people. I'm giving it to the people." He said, "He's added his own power." He said. So is it the same? Is it good? Is it bad? I want to know.
Kalada. Like I said, I am not in support of whatever means what they use the money for. This is reverse money. And as a governor, these monies are meant for projects in Rivers State.
But Rivers people attend the church.
Giving it to a church.
Okay.
Then the church, like the church we are mentioning here, the church that we've seen that is philanthropic in nature. Good and fine.
Okay.
But there are other churches as well that are not like this church that he has given money to. I don't want to mention the name of any church. Yes, we've seen him do cash, and when he gives cash to this church, my brother, he used the pulpit now to start playing politics, start saying things that he's not supposed to say ordinarily. So I'm saying, as a Rivers son, you want this thing to go on, like give to people that can use it to better the lives of others in Rivers because Rivers money. But don't use the pulpit now to start playing politics. It's not good. It doesn't portray you a good life.
All right, Clinton, thank you. I've got to go. I've got JJ who's been waiting. JJ from Port Harcourt Township is good.
I get you this fantastic afternoon.
Fantastic afternoon to you as well, JJ. Welcome. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Yes, even though no matter how fantastic the afternoon is, I must say, may the soul of our hero rest in peace.
Okay.
Lagbaja, you came, you saw, and you conquered. Even though I'm not your fan, but I will say, rest on, rest in peace. Like religious people will say, rest in peace in Jesus' name.
Amen.
That said,
JJ,
why are you laughing now?
No, go ahead. You know why I'm laughing, but go ahead.
About the donation.
Yeah.
What would you rather do if you must donate? Because there is a saying that in a tradition, in a place where the tradition is to worship the sun, you cannot complain about it. Now, people are making so much noise just for 200 million. Canada, take your pyro and paper and jot down. Sokoto, for the market that bought in Sokoto, 500 million. Bayelsa, 500 million. Kaduna, 600 million. After bandits ransacked some area. Akwa Ibom, 200 million. And Lagos, 300 million. For women to just tie wrapper and shout, call my name, 300 million. Can you beat that? Put them together and give me the answer.
Now, JJ, like I said to one or two other callers, yes, Wiki may have done it. Fubara has done it. Orderly may have done it. Amechi may have done it. The question is it good or bad? It's not about who did it the most or who did not do it.
It is good when you are doing it in-house.
Okay.
Even European countries, They give money to such organizations that will reach out to those people that the government policies may not get to.
Okay.
No matter how sweet the policies are. So what do? You give them some money, not even donation now, so that they can reach out to those people that government policies will not get to. It's not wrong. Europeans, Americans, they do it.
So people who are, like the lawyer who have argued and are saying, oh, this money could have been used like, what's his name, Clinton said, it could have been used to,
I'm not
rebuild.
the lawyer, but I know that the governor has done something right. Since he didn't donate it outside,
Okay.
he donated in-house,
Okay.
and it will also boost the economy at the end of the day.
All right, thank you.
But let me go to prayer for the nation.
Okay.
According to a certain part of the Bible, it says, if our people are called by the name, shall humble themselves and pray, and also turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and heal their land.
All right.
The question is, are we ready to turn from our wicked way of importing inferior petrol, of doing a whole lot of
JJ, I've got to go.
Because of wickedness, national grid collapsing. Are we ready?
I've got to go, really. I've got to go. I've got Chima from Rumukuta. Chima, welcome. What is on your mind?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Chima.
Brother, I want to ask you one thing. Do you know why we ask for reward when we have done something good?
I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Okay,
Why?
Because if we do something wrong, they will punish us.
Okay, true.
Now,
True.
Is it because of everybody passes one particular road, means that it's the best road, is the right road?
What's your point?
So what am I saying in essence is that I am totally against what the governor did. Now look at his speech that day. He said that his problem is because they want to control River State resources. And the one you are dashing out now, the one you're dishing out now is River State resources.
But the Rivers people, that's the argument, right? It's the Rivers people.
Now you are going to call it River people, but he gave it to a denomination.
It's not just one church. It's not just one church. I think at least two churches.
What he is doing, he has done it in two churches. Now, if you're talking about, some people talking about the philanthropic work of the Omega Power Ministry. To me, I will ask, are we running partnership with him? If you see that you deem it right that he has done well, why don't you give him a honor degree? Why don't you honor him by giving him one reward or one award or the other? Now we have another philanthropist like somebody like the Tumo Foundation. Okay, who gives to them? Have they not done enough since inception of this River State, their late father? What I'm saying about is that what the governor is looking for is freedom to spend recklessly about River State money. Now, ordinarily, the money that he gave to them is the one that is causing trouble now because it's part of our money. It did not pass the appropriate way.
Okay, fine. Chima, Chima, it's a conversation.
Yes.
You say he's spending recklessly and it's Rivers people's money, but the people in the church are Rivers people, right? Or people who are doing businesses in Rivers State. So is it not still a win-win because the Rivers people still get to benefit from the donation? I'm trying to understand. Can you explain better for me?
Okay, let me explain to you now. In your school, you're supposed to write an examination and you're going to pay a fee, examination fee. And you're supposed to pay a tuition fee as a learning fee. Now your father refused to pay the class fee that we wanted to go and learn the book. Then he's going to pay examination fee. How do you see that? Yes, we are those people are River people or they reside in River State.
Well, I don't think that analogy works.
Yes,
I don't think that analogy works. I'm sorry. I was thinking you were going to say.
I'm explaining to you.
Okay.
Yes, look at what I'm explaining to you. If you create an institution that will enable empowerment, employment to the River people, I think you will not see the ones that you're going to give money as if they are beggars.
All right then.
I'm making you understand that.
All right. But he did not give them like they were beggars, by the way.
Them out. Let me make it. You will not see thieves on the road to begin to send police to go and catch.
All right.
So the governor should be called to order.
All right.
Because let him don't look at this. Maybe he's dragging sympathy.
All right, Chima, I've got to go. Your points are noted.
You will see how provocating the thing is.
All right, your points are noted. I've got Andy, from Chinda, but I've got Bright now from Umodumai. Bright, welcome. What is on your mind?
Thank you, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
My condolence to the Army General who tries to protect of Nigeria. But one thing with life is that when somebody dies, the family will cry. When another person is promoted, the family will also be happy. So the other side is crying, the other side is also happy. That is the nature of life. Then to Donald Trump, America have elected their leader. So whoever that wants to say anything, that is the person's concern. They believe that Trump will protect them. That's why they elected him again. That's why all have been done and court judgment and so on. So they decided to bring Trump back. So good luck to them. Then to our governor, Canada, we are aware that even when Obaki said the governor, he gave them 100 million. The AK people also, he gave them 50 million. Now he gave...
Hello, welcome to Profit Power, brought to you by Raleigh Academy. This is a live